OpenAI just recently dropped Agent Builder along with ChatKit, along with Agent SDK within a very short amount of time. So you might have seen some videos, you might have played with it, but you're still confused. Everyone's showing you the buttons. Today, I'm going to show you the architecture and also break it down simply. So watch this video till the end. We're also going to build our first AI agent using OpenAI Chat Builder, no coding needed whatsoever. We're going to also deploy this using OpenAI's Chat Kit, and we're going to use our own Replit server, and you can vibe code the front end and we'll have a chat ready UI you can show off to your clients tomorrow. So you don't have to spend time tweaking. Everything's built out for quick, rapid prototyping. Let's get into it. Let me give you some context on why OpenAI Agent Builder matters. If you've been following my content for a while, then you know I talk a lot about the paradigm progression framework. What that means that in your builder journey, you're going to go through phases of automation to augmentation to agent integration. Now, the problem is most people are stuck in the automation paradigm with N8N, Zapier, or Make. But listen, hear me out. Nothing wrong with that. I use automation too. N8N, great, very good tool. But it's not agents. It cannot handle the complexity of agent orchestration. And this is where Agent Builder comes in because it allows you to create complex workflows with the Agent SDK along with the no-code visual builder tool. So you can actually complement the workflows. It goes hand in hand. And I'm going to talk about how you can make that decision when and how to choose either one of them. So think of it like a middle ground. It gives you the visual interface like the visual builders, but it is also backed by the Agent SDK, which means you actually build production grade agents. You can have technical people and non-technical people working together. You can use code or no code where necessary, and it's built for seamless handoff. All right, so having said all that, let's get you started on building and deploying your first AI agent. This is the Agent Builder SDK. You have ChatKit, you have workflow sessions. What does it all mean? Let's break it down simply. This is actually from the OpenAI documentation, so we're going to use this analogy, and it's actually great to understand all this because sometimes I get confused as well. So think of it like building a restaurant. Now, in the restaurant, you're going to have two parts. You're going to have the kitchen. This is where the magic happens. This is your agent logic. You know, the tools, the reasoning, the planning, the workflows, all that. And then you have the dining room. This is where customers interact. This is the chat interface. This is where the presentation matters. Now, where does Agent Builder come into this? Agent Builder is like the menu design tool. You're planning out what the kitchen will cook. If you're a seasoned developer, go ahead and start cooking with Agent SDK. If you're not a developer, you can provide recommendations for the chef to start cooking. So that's where the Agent Builder comes in to plan the menu. If you're building AI agents for clients, if you are an AI agency, you've seen this pattern before. You build something that works in demo, it looks great, client is impressed, but then the client asks, can we deploy this? And then you're scrambling to find a cook that can actually cook this meal for you, or a developer who can develop this app to production, to the finish line, right? Now, Agent Builder changes the equation because OpenAI hosts the backend for you. You don't have to worry about the infrastructure, scaling, session management. They handle all of it. But this is the critical part that nobody talks about in the YouTube space. You need to understand when to use this versus building your backend because there is trade-offs. It's not about technical or non-technical. It's more about speed, collaboration versus control, customization. So you need to find the right balance for your team and for you. So we're going to cover the decision matrix so you can choose when and how to use each one of these systems. But the way it's set up in Agent Builder and the OpenAI Agent SDK is that you can seamlessly transition between the different phases of your builder journey. All right, so the big question now for you is where do you cook the food? Path one is let OpenAI run the kitchen, OpenAI host it. A lot of people use this as a starting point because they don't have to worry about the infrastructure, scaling, database, sessions, all that. It's a lot, you know? Path two is run your own kitchen, self-hosted. So if you're an experienced developer, go ahead and do that. There is a middle ground in between where you can take a hybrid approach. And I advocate you do that if you understand not only the business, but also the technical side, because there is a lot of things that are lost in translation. Technical teams or the developers, they're lost in their projects. The business are lost in their KPIs. So you need to act like a middleman, a translation layer between these two teams. So you need to understand both of these two things if you want to work with both teams. I personally worked as a data scientist for over 10 years in Fortune 500 companies, and I've seen that this is the biggest gap or the biggest driver in deploying successful AI projects, because you need a way to translate these teams. And this skill is becoming more prevalent now more than ever as data scientists are learning full stack AI engineering and software engineers are learning data science, because you need that iterative mindset to go between two different teams. So having said that, we're going to let Sam Altman run the kitchen for us, or OpenAI take over the back end. Essentially, we're going to be building this chat application. With the OpenAI backend, we're going to get a workflow ID, and then we're going to integrate this with the with our Replit servers. OpenAI packages up the chat interface nicely in ChatKit. We're going to use that to build our chat interface. No coding is necessary. This template is also going to be provided to you absolutely for free. The link is going to be in the description, so you can actually go ahead and start deploying your first AI agent without any code. However, you can vibe code this and customize any way you want without impacting the chat interface. So we're going to be creating the agent in the agent builder tool. Now this is going to be a very simple agent because we want you to get started. This is the most basic version, just one agent. In the future videos, we're going to help you understand how to incorporate guardrails, MCP, and all the additional logic into your workflows. You can actually test out the agent interface as well as how the agent works in the agent builder as well, right? So you get more information here. And if you have deployed this, you're going to get a workflow ID. So once we have the workflow ID, we're going to take that workflow ID. We're going to add it into our Replit server. So this is a server that we have set up, and this allows us to control our own front end, embed the chat interface into our front end. And so this is our development integration right here. We have a backend file, and then we have a front end file, which basically allows us to create this nice website. So if you build website, if you build web apps and you want agent right on the website, you can incorporate it very simply just with a workflow ID. So your front end embeds ChatKit widgets, connects to OpenAI backend. So user chats with your app, and OpenAI workflow delivers a streaming response, okay? Just like the diagram you can see, OpenAI hosted backend. So OpenAI takes care of the inference from the APIs, it takes care of the file storage, and it takes care of the thread storage, right? Thread storage is the chat conversations back and forth. There's a lot of complexity in actually putting together the solution for a good thread storage system. So this includes file search, memory, and other tools. Now, if you want to dive more into the memory management systems and how to build self-evolving AI agents, I recommend watching this video in my channel. I'm going to put a link in the description. And if you haven't, make sure you like the video and also subscribe to the channel for more easy AI guides and tutorials so you can get started building production AI systems. Now, if you want me to cover a fully self-hosted solution where you start off with OpenAI SDK and build out all your databases and logic, comment below and I'll put together a video for you. But for now, I'll be covering the OpenAI Agent SDK and OpenAI hosted solutions so you can break through the N8N matrix and other visual tools. All right, so to get started, go to platform.openai.com/agent builder. Make sure you have your API keys plugged into OpenAI systems. There's a lot of videos on how to set this up, so I'm pretty sure you know already how to do that. There's a lot of templates you can actually plug and play and get it up and running. However, to deploy this agent, I recommend starting with something simple. Start from scratch so you understand exactly how it works. Deploy it, and while it's connected, you can work on the backend logic. This is a very important thing to know. This is a real use case. Every agency owner I talk to has clients asking for this. Can we search documents using AI? All right. So as you can see, there's a bunch of features here. There's tools, there's guardrails, MCPs. We're going to be covering that in another tutorial, but for this one, we're just going to work with one agent so you can actually understand all the components that goes into this. We're going to be covering the advanced features in another video as well. So let's cover the fundamentals of building your agent. Your agent is going to have prompt, and also more importantly, it's going to have an LM. And the most important part of the agent is going to be the tools. Think of tools like actions or the hands for your agent. It needs to do different things. It needs to search the internet. It needs to process some files. It needs to look up a document. It can retrieve things from a different database. All these kind of things are tools, right? So tools are going to be the most important thing here. Now, instructions, you probably already know how to do prompts, so we're going to cover this later. But when we look at the tools, you'll notice they have MCP server, they have file search, web search, code interpreter. Now, MCP server, you can think of it as a bucket of tools, right? And you can create your own custom bucket of tools and attach it to the assistant. If you want more understanding of what is MCP and how to build your own custom MCP server, I'm going to link some videos right here. Then file search allows you to search through documents using semantic search. You have web search and you have code interpreter, which basically runs code for you. So there's a lot of handy tools you can use off the fly without any coding whatsoever. You can just pick and choose which one you want and you're off to the races. So we're going to use file search for this case. So I have a PDF document that I can attach to the file search system, and the agent can search through this document. And it's very easy to upload your documents to file search. You can just click on upload, and just like that, you have your PDF attached. So now you can see it has that document in its tools. Now you can do GPT 4.1, ChatGPT 5 is also good. 4.1 is very versatile. It has a good balance between cost as well as capability. So I would say 4.1 is a good place to start. Now let's get to the instructions. Don't just write "you are a helpful assistant." That's demo thinking. Production means you specify what documents this agent searches, how it should cite resources, what to do when it doesn't find an answer, how to handle ambiguous queries. Let me show you what I mean. You're going to write instead, "You're a document search assistant. Your job is to answer questions based on the uploaded knowledge base. When answering, always cite the specific document where you found the information. If the answer isn't in the document, say I couldn't find this in the provided documents. Keep responses concise but complete. Your tone is professional and helpful." See the difference? This is production ready instructions. You're handling edge cases before they become problems. All right, so we're going to click on save, and this is good to go. Now let me give you a little bit of context about file search. I know there's a lot of RAG implementations, and I say this as someone who teaches custom RAG and also deploy it for my clients. For 90% use cases, OpenAI's file search handles chunking, embeddings, retrievals for you. So you don't have to build your own kind of RAG systems from scratch. Now let's find some things from the document. Let's look at the success stories from this PDF document. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and preview this agent. Tell me about the success stories. Searching files, success stories. Here are the several success stories: Amazon rainforest, African elephant conservation, all this, and it has the source. You can click on the source and you have the PDF. See how elegant and effective this build is. Just no coding whatsoever necessary. I know what you might be thinking. Well, this is great, Imtiaz. You built an agent using OpenAI, using the OpenAI agent builder. I've watched tons of YouTube videos on the same thing, but the clients don't want this on the OpenAI platform. I want to actually deploy it in the website. I'm going to go back to N8N and start tinkering with that. Hold your horses, because now I'm going to show you how you can deploy your AI agent into your own website. And this is exactly why I have this template for you. This is in Replit. This is free. You can use it, customize it absolutely for free. So you can see how it's easy to build your own custom AI agent in a website, just like that. So we will click publish, and we're going to name this document search workflow. It's very important that you understand the difference between a workflow and an agent. Now, this is a very simple workflow where the agent just provides information from a document, but it could be very complex when one agent talks to other agents and there's a whole orchestration systems you can set up using the OpenAI Agent Builder. I'm going to show this in another video, but we're going to publish this and you're going to get a workflow ID. So you're going to go ahead and copy this workflow ID, go back to your Replit template. You're going to paste this workflow ID right here under the secrets, right? If you cannot find the secrets, just type secrets and then you'll find workflow ID. You're just going to edit this, put in your workflow ID. You're good. Put in your OpenAI API key. That's the only two things you're going to need here. Now, in order to run this application, so we're going to go ahead and open shell here. And this is the only piece of code that you're going to need. You're going to right click on that folder, open shell here, then you're going to type pip install r requirements.txt and run this. So this installs some software packages or libraries needed for this application to run. And that's literally it. Okay, so if you want to understand what these files are, we have index.html. This is essentially the front end. Then you have main.py. This is the back end. So in simple words, your files are going to have in the front end. If you vibe coded applications, it's basically your website and your chat interface. So this is your front end, and then your back end here is going to be connection to OpenAI and ChatKit sessions. Okay, so we've created our own custom backend. This basically allows us to create that connection with OpenAI, just like they have described it in their document. We've created our integration server using Python, right? So you can also use the Agent SDK code here and go to Python and also do this yourself. So this backend file is very simple. You don't have to touch it or anything. Already connects to OpenAI's file search and thread management system. The only thing you can change is the front end. If you want to vibe code and customize the design, the layouts, you could use the Replit agent for this. Just talk to the agent and iterate on what you want to change. I'm also going to provide a vibe coding guide, so you can also vibe code the front end of the application. So to run this on this shell, we're just going to type python main.py. All right, so it's running this application, as you can see, and it has created the website for us to check out. So, okay, before we actually test this out, we need to make sure that the domain or this website right here is added in the OpenAI whitelisted domain servers. This is so that we have a secure connection between the agent and OpenAI servers. Okay, so in order to do that, go to platform.openai.com, settings, organization, security, domain whitelist. So you're going to add this domain in the list of approved domain. All right, so once we have done that, the website should be good to go. Another thing to make sure, to come across any kind of issues, you can go ahead, right click this, inspect, go to console, and you're going to see all the error messages here. Make sure you copy all these logs, go to Replit and say, this is the issue I had, can you help me fix it? Okay, Replit agent is going to help you fix it. All right, having said that, let's go talk to the agent. Like, hey, can you tell me about the success stories? So just like that, we've seen in the agent builder, we're going to see the same chat interface here, right? So here are some of the success stories: Amazon rainforest protection, blah, and it has the source, just like that. Now you can change the length of the chat interface. You can choose how you want to present it, like a chat interface at the bottom or a panel that comes out from the side. There's different ways you can customize this. There's a lot of new tools coming out from ChatKit, including widgets and custom theming, that's going to allow us to change the way and feel of the chat interface. However, if you're starting out, I want you to start simple just like this, because you have full control of the website and you have 100% benefits of the chat interface without even touching code, right? Now, don't let all these codes scare you. This is a very powerful feature, the power of code and the power of unlocking your code so you can customize it further without getting trapped into the complexities of building chat interfaces, right? So you have full control over how you design the website, and you can talk to the agent, just customize the index.html file, keep the backend the same, and it should still work 100% in production. If you want to work more on the agent logic, add new agents, add guardrails, MCPs, you can keep on building it, right? And keep on saving the new versions. It should pick up from our own servers that we've set up. So as promised, here is the decision framework that you're going to take when you are deciding between when to use OpenAI hosted or self-hosted, okay? So first you need to ask yourself, do you need any data to stay on your servers? Okay, so if the answer is yes, then you must self-host. If the answer is no, do you need custom authentication or complex security? Then yes, then should probably self-host. Do we need to use non-OpenAI models? If the answer is yes, definitely self-host. Need model flexibility. Now, if the answer is no, then is it a quick prototype or MVP? Then start with OpenAI hosted. Ship fast, iterate later. Okay, so this is usually a common path a lot of builders start with, is to get that MVP out. And when the MVP is working and it's validated, they can start adding more complexity. Start with simplicity, then add complexity when needed, okay? So if this is not an MVP or prototype, then ask yourself, do you have strong backend developers? If the answer is yes, okay, either works. Pick based on preference. Most developers that we work with and most developers I know, they use both because it gives the flexibility. It's not an if or that approach. If your developer cannot code or doesn't know anything beyond N and N, then you should be very skeptical about their development skills. So definitely look for someone who can both code and no code and know how to move one framework to another framework. Like the agent builder, like I said, allows developers to collaborate with non-technical people to design the menu and then go back to the kitchen and then start coding it up with agent SDK. So these things are going to be critical as you are working with these systems. If you do not have a good developer, stick with OpenAI hosted. It's less complexity, and trust me, it's going to save you a lot of money and headache. Once again, I encourage you to evaluate the pros and the cons of the OpenAI hosted versus the self-hosted. Understand, by using OpenAI Agent Builder or Agent SDK as a starting point, it doesn't limit you from using the other frameworks or providers. It gives you a quick starting point so you can get production-ready apps deployed, and then you can go ahead and start adding complexity and start adding self-hosting capabilities with the framework that you currently have. So if you have any particular builds you want me to try with the OpenAI Agent Builder or OpenAI Agent SDK, feel free to comment below. And any use case that you want to cover, we can definitely help you with that. Now, if you are looking for anything urgent, make sure you book a call so we can get on a call, see where you're at in your journey, and if you're ready for agents, we can help you partner with the right people. We also have our own development team, so if you want to partner with us, book a call. I also have a community for AI engineers who want to dive into the Agent SDK build. We're dropping new resources every week, so if you want to go ahead and check it out, I'm going to leave the link for you as well. Hopefully this video clarified a lot of concerns that you have, and make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notified every time I drop a new video. And I'm going to leave these two videos here for you to watch as well. Again, thank you for watching. This is Imtiaz. Peace.